Well, a very good morning from Phuket, and today I'm over Patong. You can probably guess behind me because the Bay of Patong, we've got a cruise ship in the bay, which is nice to see. We haven't seen many of those over the last 2 years. We're going to take a walk along the beach because I haven't covered the beach in Patong for quite some time, and to be honest, the beach here is absolutely glorious, and the Bay of Patong at the moment is looking really nice because of course the last 2 years we haven't seen a lot of tourism. A lot of the businesses here in Patong have been shut, which means the rubbish, even though they say there isn't any rubbish being pumped into the Bay of Patong, hasn't been going into the Bay of Patong, which means the water quality has improved, and we've seen this all around the island. So we're going to take a look at the beach area, not only the beach but the area directly behind the beach, because there's an area that's shaded where you can go and relax if the sun gets too hot. And talking about the sun, as you can see behind me, it is a glorious day. The sun is out, it's a very warm, it's just coming up to lunchtime. It is the 12th of November. So you can see all the water sports back out on the beach. I'm sure there'll be some jet skis further down available if that's what you're looking for. You've got the paragliding or parasailing, I never know what it's called, but I think you know what I'm talking about. We have a makeshift pier because now the cruise ships are coming into the bay. So just down here you've got the pier that obviously the passengers are from the ship out there will disembark and come into Patong via that way, which again hasn't been there for a very long time. And we're going to make our way along the beach. As I've said, we're going to have a look at the beach area. It's looking very busy, quite a few tourists here at the moment. Now it's far from being packed of course, but we are still really in the low season. We haven't yet entered the high season, which is, I guess you'd say it starts around the end of November, beginning of December. It really depends on the weather. The weather's not too bad, as I've mentioned today. We have got some blue sky, we've got some clouds, the sun is out, as I'm sure you can see, and it is lovely. We've had a little bit of rain over the last week or so, but only a very small amount. The weather is definitely starting to pick up. Of course, this is the small roundabout that you come down if you're coming down towards Beach Road. I forget the name of this road that's just in front of us here. I will overlay it on the video of course, and then of course you've got Beach Road that runs down. We're going to make our way along the beach. As I've said, we're going to have a look, see what's happening on the actual beach area, and then when I walk back down, because I've just parked my bike not far from where I'm actually filming right now. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Well, hey, never had a go at one of those. I do fancy having a go, I must admit. But certain stories from Patong, I don't know whether they're true, about you have to be very careful. Again, there are ways that you can protect yourselves from scams. Just take some video. If you're hiring a jet ski, one of those out there, I would highly recommend you take some video of the jet ski before you take the jet ski out, if you want to do that here in Patong, because there are a lot of stories floating around of scams and this and that, and I don't know how accurate these scams are. I've hired jet skis in the past here in Phuket and I've never personally had any problems, but I'm very careful when I hire them. I take some video obviously to make sure there's no damage on the jet ski, or if there is, that it's recorded so that they don't start saying that you've damaged it. So there are ways of protecting yourself. Of course, like now with me with the video camera, all you need to do really is pull your phone out of your pocket, do what I'm doing now with this jet ski in front, just have a wander around with it set on video, make sure the guy that you're hiring it off is also on the video so it can be proven, just like that really. All you're going to do is walk around it. Any damage that you can actually see on the jet ski, point it out to the guy on the actual video. Make sure that he acknowledges the fact that the damage is there, and then that way, should there be any discrepancy when you come back after your hire of the jet ski, you can say, well, I've got this video, this shows that the damage was there, and it's going to be very hard to dispute. I know some people say, oh, the the owners of these jet skis are working with the police. Well, I can't comment on that, I really can't. As I've said, in the past I have hired jet skis in Phuket and in other places of Thailand. I'm very careful when I hire them. I make sure that I take pictures, I take video, I cover myself, I have the owner of the jet ski normally somewhere in the video to prove that it's that person, etc. And then normally I don't get any problems, because if they see you doing this, they know you know full. If you just jump on the jet ski, don't even look over it, and too quick to go out, then obviously you're going to look like an easy target, and maybe they will try to scam you. I don't know. But as I've said, I've never had any problems in the past. I haven't hired any recently. Exactly the same with bikes, exactly the same with cars. You need to take some video, you need to make sure that the person that you're hiring it off is in the video. So any discrepancies, then when you take it back and they start saying this wasn't here before, you can show it basically. Another one going up. The sun's that bright, I can't even see on the screen. Wow. But there he goes. Another one there. Some boats in the bay. Lots of jet skis here. Lots of them I can see parked up. I don't know the price. I don't know how much they are. I know they're not cheap. And of course they will go up more expensive into the high season. So if it's something you want to do, you really want to do, I'm not recommending them. I'm just saying that I've never had any problem in the past. If it's something you want to do, then the easiest way is Swaddy Cap? No, not today. How much is it? For how long? 30 minutes, 1,500. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Okay, well, there you go. You've got a price for 30 minutes, 1,500 baht. Not cheap by any means, but they are great fun. Now, there are some tours, and I would encourage anybody that hasn't already joined my Facebook group to join it, because there are some jet ski tours now that you can take. Oh, actually, there's the prices. I needn't have bothered asking him, but it doesn't matter. You've got 20 minutes, 1,000. Well, he's just said 30 minutes for 1,500. So there you go. He's obviously a different one. So it's going to be worth you shopping around and asking for prices, getting some different prices. You can see a lot of people on the beach. A lot of people here today. Quite surprised, actually. A lot of people.
What about parasailing? Yes.
How much is the parasailing?
Parasailing, my price one people 1,200.
1,200. And how long does it normally last?
Only one round, one lap.
One round the bay.
Yes, because parasailing you stay in the air not long time, not same like an aeroplane.
Okay, yeah,
And then,
okay.
if you want to do, you must to go with my instructor.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Staff take care you when you go up in the air.
Okay, lovely. Thank you very much. Okay, I might have a look at that. I haven't tried that before. Okay, thank you. Well, there you go. A little bit of info for you. You want to try the parasailing? Then you know how much it is. One lap round the bay, basically. So not that long, but I'm sure that it's a fantastic experience. I'm yet to do that. I'll be honest with you. It is something that I want to do. I love the jet skis, but I suppose living here is a little bit different to being on holiday. I've not got loads of money to throw around. When you're on holiday, then of course you're here to enjoy yourselves, and you want to spend a little bit of cash, then you can do the jet skis. But as I say, just protect yourself, do a little bit of video to start with. It's just a simple way. But the beach is looking fantastic today, definitely fantastic. A lot busier than a few months ago, that's for sure. The last time I was here in Patong, I can't quite remember. It's been on the beach maybe 6 months, I think. It's been a while, but you can see for yourselves there are a lot of people here now. I noticed the sunbeds are creeping back, unfortunately. They had cleared all the sunbeds off the beaches, but I guess people want to make money. I'm sort of trying to sit on the fence. I know people, when they come on holiday, they don't necessarily want to just sit on the sand. Some people want them, so there is a demand for them, but I think it's having the right amount on each beach that's the problem, because of course they can take over the beach, which really spoils it, because actually this beach is really beautiful. Let's just take a look at the water. It's not the cleanest I've seen it, I must admit. a little bit cloudy today, but of course the weather over the last week, as I've said, we've not long been having storms, so I guess that mucks up the sea a little bit, but it's not terrible. It's reasonable, I guess. At one stage the water quality here in Patong Bay wasn't great, but it has improved a lot since then. So it's really great to see these people here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk a little ways along the beach so we can have a look and enjoy the day, and then come off the beach and walk back down Beach Road so you can see the shops and businesses that are open here. I would say 99% of Beach Road now is fully open. There's no issues there. You're not going to have any problems as regards businesses closed, but the further you go away from the beach area, there are still some reminders, of course, of the last 2 years, but it's getting less all the time. Now, I came through Qatar and Caron this morning. People have been asking me about police checks. Well, there was 2 this morning. Fortunately, I didn't get stopped. I normally do, to be honest, because of course I'm a Falang. I look like a tourist when I'm riding the bike. Not that it's a problem because I've got a Thai license, so I really don't care, because they don't never bother me. They just look at my license and then just say okay, go. But there was 2 checks. There was one in Caron, right by the Novotel Hotel, so just past there as you're going up the hill towards Patong. There was a check there, and then coming into Patong just after Simon's Cabaret, there was another police check there. Of course they were targeting tourists, so again I'm going to remind you, if you're coming out here, you want to hire a vehicle. Of course I understand scooters are great fun, let's be honest, they're great fun, they're cheap, they're a fantastic way of seeing Phuket, riding around. Take your time, wear a helmet, you know, and really you shouldn't have any problems. But what you've got to bear in mind is it's law here to wear an helmet. So if you come to a police check and you haven't got one on, they will fine you for it. The other big thing is a lot of tourists come over here, and the police are not stupid. People say, oh, the police, they're trying to scam tourists, they're trying to... They already know 95% of the tourists that are coming over here don't have the correct motorbike licence. They know that. They have a car licence with maybe a category where they can drive a 50cc scooter. Well, that doesn't cover you out here. You need a full motorbike licence. Let me say that again, a full motorbike license to drive a scooter over here, because they're not classed as scooters, they're classed as motorbikes. I've said this many times. So if you're going to hire a scooter, make sure you're covered to ride it, because otherwise you're going to get fined. There's no way of trying to avoid these checkpoints, because they're getting more and more, and they are clamping down on it. There are new fines coming into play. They're supposed to be lenient for the first 3 months. They're already law, but it's down to the discretion of the officer. I've mentioned this before. They can fine you now anywhere up to 3,000 to 5,000 baht a time. So if you've got no helmet on, you've got no license, expect to be coughing up some money. It's up to you, the choice is yours, but you can't avoid the police checks, because sooner or later you're going to run into them. You might think you can, but you're not going to be able to. So just bear that in mind. Be a bit sensible. If you don't care about the fines, well, that's up to you, but just remember one thing: no insurance. No license, no insurance. And I saw an accident coming into Patong. Luckily I had my video camera on, so you can see it for yourselves, because I will overlay it, so you can see that I'm not lying. Accidents happen every day here, so just bear that in mind. You're 10 times, more than 10 times likely to have an accident here in Thailand on the roads, because the way people drive. The people have very little patience on the road. Spatial awareness, they've got none. They don't know what's going on around them. They pull out to side roads. It's just very, very risky riding around here, and you need to keep your eyes firmly on the road if you are riding around. But as I say, it's entirely up to you. Enough talk about that. Let's get back to the beach, because I don't want to bore people and I don't want to lecture people, but I just want to let you know the current situation, and that is the situation. Well, now we've got a little spot, look, where there's no beach chairs, which is actually quite nice. I mean, that's really nice to have this area. That's what I say. I don't mind beach chairs as long as they keep them to moderation and not take over the whole beach, because not everybody wants to use them. I understand there is a call for them, because even myself, sometimes when I go somewhere nice and I'm relaxing with Nat, I want to sit on a beach chair, have a table and a drink, and there's nothing wrong with that. But in the past we have seen them the beach chairs taking over the beach, which isn't great, you know, because they spoil the look of the beach. Look at that beautiful blue sky today, fantastic, what a day. So pleased I've come over this morning. As I mentioned, I'm going to be doing a lot more from Patong. Well, to be honest, I'm going to be doing a lot more, full stop. So you're going to see a lot from Patong, you're going to see a lot from Phuket town, Kata, Karon, Kamala, all the different areas, even Chuntalay, Laguna. You're going to see a lot coming. I'm going to mix it up so you don't get bored. I'm not going to do Patong videos one after another because it can get a bit boring. I'm going to mix it up so you never know what's going to come. Now we're approaching a high season, the weather's picking up. Of course, I've sorted cameras out for my bike. I've got my main cameras now, I've got cameras for night time, so you're going to see not only day stuff, you're going to see a lot of stuff coming at night, because nightlife is something that I've yet to really cover in any degree. Yes, I've walked down Bangla Road, but Bangla Road is not the only nightlife here on the island of Phuket. As you will see in the coming months, I'm going to be visiting some clubs, some bars, some discotheques, if you want to call them that, because when I say clubs, I'm talking about jazz clubs, blues clubs, as well as the discos. There's lots and lots of choice here, not just in Phuket town, because people are thinking, oh, here we go, we're talking about Phuket town again. No, I'm not talking about Phuket town. There are other areas outside of Phuket town where you can go for nighttime entertainment, of course, but Phuket town is a very good place to go for nighttime entertainment. So yes, I am going to cover it, but I'm also going to cover Patong. I'm going to cover not going to cover Bangla Road. Well, I probably will cover Bangla Road again, but I've done that a few times already. I'm going to cover other areas in Patong because there's not just Bangla Road, of course. I'm going to cover Kamala, Surin, Bantau, all the different places around the island, so you get a feel for the nightlife. So I've got a dedicated camera for that because obviously some clubs and that are a little bit funny about filming in there, so you know, I'm going to do my best and see how we go. So now we've got another section of sun lounges, so plenty of sunbeds for hire. If that's your thing, you're coming to Patong, you want to come and chill out on the beach, and why not? I mean, just look at it, just look at that view. Fantastic today, beautiful. I want to go and have a swim myself, but I haven't bought my swimming shorts, unfortunately. I'm doing videos. Well, fantastic today. So we're coming down towards Bangla Road. We're just not far the entrance. You come off the beach here and Bangla Road's opposite. Gonna go a little ways past there and then walk back down because I haven't really covered that section. And there are some businesses down there that you might be interested in going and taking a look. Of course, some restaurants, some shops. There's also a beach club along there as well. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but I'm sure we're going to see it in a few minutes because, as I say, I'm just going to walk a little ways past into what the area known as Loma Park, and then we're going to cut through there back onto Beach Road and work our way back towards where I've parked my motorbike, and then I will call it a day. But as you can see, it's looking better all the time. Fingers crossed we're going to get a really nice high season this year. It's going to be reasonably busy. I'm not expecting it to be packed, of course, because of the last 2 years, but I'm hoping we're going to have a reasonably good high season this year. Long-tail fishing boats there. Nice to see. I love those. When we go to the islands and stuff, I normally opt for the long-tail boat rather than the speedboat. I just think it's a little bit more interesting way of travelling, but each to their own. Sometimes when you're in a hurry, looks like somebody's actually going out on it there. Maybe it's not a fishing boat there, maybe they're going out on a trip or a tour, something. Another jet ski there. Lots of choice when it comes to jet skis, but as I say, shop around, get yourselves the best prices because they are going to vary. Now, why I'm talking about vehicles, my wife Nat, she started a hire company. We're going to be hiring motorbikes, we're also going to be hiring cars. We have a brand new MG5 for hire, so if that's something you're interested in, you're coming out here, you want to hire a car, give me a shout, I'll give you a price. The hire rate for my vehicle or Nat's vehicle, or whoever you want to say in the hire company, for the MG, it's brand new, MG5, brand new vehicle, 1,500 baht a day, and that's a set rate. It's not going to go up in a high season. That's the rate it's going to stay at. So if you're interested, you want to hire a car, give us a shout. I will put the details in the description. Go and check that out. It's a separate email. Don't email me, email Nat. As I say, it's Nat's business. She started it up. So we've got a couple of bikes for hire as well. But again, I'm going to remind you, we are going to be strict on the licence thing. If you haven't got a licence, then don't look at us, because I'm not going to add to it. I don't want to add to the problem. And not only that, the hire shops are responsible for hiring vehicles out to people with no licences. If you're involved in a bad accident, the police can come back to the hire company and want to know why you've hired it when they haven't got a licence, etc. So I don't want to get involved in that, and Nat doesn't want to get involved in that. So we're going to have to be strict. Now, I know that's going to affect the business, but that's the way it goes. I know a lot of people don't have the correct motorbike licence, but I don't want to add to it, as I say. But if you're interested in hiring something, you've got the right documentation, give us a shout. There's the price on the car anyway, it won't change, 1,500 baht a day. A little plug there for Nat's business. Sorry, but it's got to be done, I'm afraid. And just across the road there is Bangla Road, of course. And I'm sure you all know, all aware, but fantastic. Really nice to see the beach like this today, really nice. I wasn't expecting it to be so busy today, to be honest, but there you go. One thing I've noticed, I haven't seen many places where you can get a drink from on the beach, or I haven't noticed many places. That's something unusual. Normally there's little vendors walking around trying to sell stuff. Now, I know the island is struggling at the moment with staff. There's a lot of companies got problems with recruitment. I know the John Ceylon shopping mall was due to open the end of October, but they're having the same problem. There is a massive shortage here on the island of Phuket, and that is because of the last 2 years. A lot of people that come to Phuket to work over the last 2 years have gone home, and during that period, because it went on for so long, they've got jobs. They may have picked up reasonable good jobs. They don't want to come back to Patong. So the people here on the island, there just isn't enough of them for the amount of businesses that are here in Phuket. So I'm seeing a lot of businesses advertising for staff, hotels, all different manner of businesses, restaurants, etc., constantly advertising for staff. So I know there's a massive shortage. Maybe that's why there's not so many vendors about. Maybe there's just not that many here at the moment. I'm hoping as we go closer to Christmas and after Christmas, more people will come to take up the jobs, but that's the way it is at the moment, unfortunately. So there are still some businesses that are either closed because of lack of staff or understaffed, so that's something to bear in mind. So we're going to just walk a little bit further along into Loma Park, and then I'm going to come off the beach, because I'm sure you've had a very nice view of the beach. We've had a great walk down this morning. Well, what time is it now? Let me have a look. Let me give you an accurate time. It is 28 minutes past 12, so it's officially afternoon, I guess. More parasailing there. You can see the price, 1,500 for one person, 3,000 for 200. They do the banana boat, the storm and the jet skis, so they've got a little bit of choice. Different areas, there's plenty of options if you want to partake. I can see there the chairs. That's the first time I've actually seen a sign for the chairs, and that's quite nice actually. So one set is going to cost you 200 baht. I presume that's for the day, because it says 8:30 till 6. It doesn't say anything else. And then if you want to have an extra chair, that's 100 baht. Well, that's nice to see actually. That's the first time I've seen a sign for the prices of the beach chairs. So a set of 2, if you're a couple, it's going to cost you 200 baht a day. If you've got a third person, a child or another member, and you need 3, you're going to pay an extra 100 baht. So they're working out at 100 baht each really, which I guess is reasonable. It's reasonable for Patong. Now I think that there we are behind the beach club. I forget the name of it. It's only lunchtime at the moment, so there's not much going on there. I can't remember the name, but we'll walk past it, the front of it, in a moment. I suppose, as I say, I'm going to come off once I get into Loma Park, walk onto the main road and then back along to the bike. It's going to be a fairly lengthy video, this is, so some of the videos are going to get longer now. As I said, there's going to be a lot of stuff coming over the next few months, so keep an eye on my channel, please. I know it's been slow over the last couple of years. COVID definitely scuppered my plans, as so to speak, with my YouTube channel, but I'm trying to bring it back up to speed. But it has given me some time to gain some valuable experience, because I don't have a lot of experience when it comes to videography. I'm not a professional videographer. Of course, my background is the motor trade, but when I do something, I like to try and do it right. So I have been learning lots of different things, and I've gained a lot of knowledge over the last 2 years that I hope now that I'm going to be able to put to some good use. Not many places I can see for food and drink, I'll be honest with you. That's surprising. So just bear that in mind if you're coming here to Patong Beach. You're going to have a little bit of a... I mean, there's plenty of shops here in Patong, of course, where you're going to be able to get something from, but I'm surprised there's nothing on the actual beach that I can see where you can go and get a drink or something to eat. I know normally there's a few market stalls here in Loma Park, but I don't know whether they're here all the time. So I find that quite surprising, to be honest, that there isn't more food and drink available on the beach. So that's worth bearing in mind. Coming to the beach, maybe bring a cold box with you if you've got one, a small one with some drinks and sandwiches or whatever you want to eat, because otherwise you're going to have to leave the beach area. You're going to have a little wander, which you might want to do. That's fine. Plenty of restaurants along Beach Road, no problem there if you want to go in one of the restaurants. But if you want to stay on the actual beach, then there doesn't look to be that much, which is surprising. I can't see any anyway. That could be a hotel by the looks of it, because I can see the sun loungers. Again, I'm not sure which one, but definitely plenty of people on the beach today. Beautiful, really nice. Let's hope the weather keeps up. So something else I'd like to mention is, if you've got any ideas for videos or something that you want to see on the channel that you haven't seen up to yet, then stick them in the comments down below. I can't guarantee, of course, I'm going to cover everything that people suggest, but I will do my best. If there's particular hotels or restaurants or areas within Phuket that you want to see, hopefully at a later date outside of Phuket as well. As I mentioned, my channel is Thailand Tony, so not Phuket Tony. At the moment I haven't really ventured out that much. I want to go to Patong. We're in Patong. I want to go to Bangkok at some stage, because I love Bangkok and I haven't been for a very, very long time. So that's somewhere that I want to start and cover. Of course, I've been to Koh Lak, we've done some on that, but I am waiting until I sort my drone out, because some of you may know I do actually own a drone, but unfortunately the drone that I've got, the Unique, they've pulled out of Thailand, which means I'm struggling to get batteries for the bloody thing. So I'm thinking of changing it to a DJI drone, probably one of the smaller ones, because it's a little bit easier than the one that I've got, because mine's quite large, being the Typhoon H. It's a really good drone, but probably a bit too much for what I need. I just need a small one. So I'm trying to get that sorted out, and then once I've got that as well, then I'm going to be going outside of Phuket. Of course I'm going to use it in Phuket, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to be going outside of the island as well. Right, let's now step off the beach, because we've certainly had a good look at Patong's beach today, and we're going to cut across here, make our way back onto Beach Road, and then back along Beach Road to where I've parked. I've noticed along this road here, along Beach Road, that towards the more northern end, I don't know whether I said the northern end when I started the video at the beach, but of course we was at the southern end, not the northern end, when we started the video. But the more northern end of this road here, there's a lot more businesses that have opened up, because that area was quite quiet not long ago, a few months ago. But I have noticed now that there's a lot of businesses that have opened up, restaurants and bars, etc. There's even a market area down there now. So again, Swadee Kap, good morning or good afternoon. So that's an area that I'm going to take a look at on a separate video. Of course, Patong is quite a large area, and I'm not going to be able to film it all in one go, as I mentioned before, because the video would get a little bit boring if I just make one long video. But it is quite a large area, so we're going to have a look at all the different areas of Patong, not just Bangla and not just the beach area. But of course it's going to take me a while, and I don't want to do the videos one after another. So where are we? Well, there you can see beyond Patong, a resort, I'm guessing, hotel, and then this road, beach road, running down past Loma Park. You can see now there's a lot more activity along here, shop wise, restaurants, bars, etc., massage shops, all the way down virtually. I think now nearly all of it's open back up, which is great to see, because a lot of it, especially this part, they were shut. But you've got plenty of sois to explore, have a wander around. I'm going to try and find some new restaurants in Patong, because a lot of people ask me, what restaurants do I recommend over here? Well, honestly, I don't spend a lot of time in Patong, because of course we don't live in Patong, and Patong, honestly, it's more expensive over here than other parts of the island. So again, because we're living here and we're not tourists, then obviously I don't want to be dining in expensive restaurants. And another thing, not always when you pay a lot of money is the food that good. I mean, some restaurants that we use, the food is actually very cheap, but of really nice quality. You know, they're really good dishes. Whereas sometimes when you come into the tourist areas, you're paying through the nose, but you don't always get good quality. Unfortunately, that's the way it is. So just bear that in mind. Just because I'm not saying every business is the same here. I'm not saying that's the case for all restaurants, but it's something that I have noticed, so it's worth bearing in mind. Sometimes it pays to come outside of Patong and explore other places, and this is why I try to cover other areas, to give you more options. There's a nice cafe not far from Patong. Unfortunately, the road over Patong Hill, the Khartoum, between Patong and Khartoum, has now been closed again to vehicles for cars, because there was a landslide. They closed it, they've reopened it. First it was pedestrians, then motorbikes and cars, and then cars both ways. And now yesterday, I think last night, they closed it because the road was slipping away again. There was a landslide. They haven't fully repaired it. I don't think they've even started repairing it, to be honest. We've got a nice little place here. I think that might have been the hotel that we were looking at from the beach side, I'm not sure. But that's been closed, and there's a nice cafe just along that road, unfortunately, called the Forest Cafe. They do some really nice food. It's a lovely setting. Again, I've covered it on my Facebook group. I have done a YouTube video some time back on it, so go and check my older videos out, because some of them are still relevant. So some of the businesses that I've covered are still here and they're still open. So we've got a Turkish and Indian restaurant. I noticed a lot of Indian restaurants opening this year, because of course Indian tourists are coming over at the moment. It's a big thing here in Phuket with Indian tourists. So they're catering to the clientele that are visiting, and it seems like a lot of Indian restaurants are opening. I did try an Indian restaurant. Well, it was supposed to be an Irish bar and stroke Indian restaurant in Caron, but I didn't have a very good experience in there. Not somewhere I would personally recommend. Again, I've covered that on my Facebook group. If you haven't joined it, I'm going to say it again, do join it, because there's some stuff in there that I don't cover on my YouTube channel that's very valuable, restaurants and stuff. Now, I've heard good things about this place, Beach Bums. I'm a member of a Phuket food group, and they do a lot of reviews. I keep an eye on it. They've said this is quite a good place. It's run in association with Wokstar and Lucky 13 sandwiches, so if you know those. And from what I understand, it's very good. I want to try it out myself. I'm not recommending it until I've tried it, but I've heard some good things about it. Of course, then you've got the surf house here next door, which is now back open. Last time I came here, that was closed. It's nice to see it open again. They've got one of those in Kata. Not sure whether the Kata one is now back open, but I'm sure we're going to find out in the next few weeks, because I'm going to be out and about a lot more. So you've got the surf house there. If you want to learn surfing, might be a good way of starting rather than on the sea, because in the high season you're not going to get many waves here on the island of Phuket. Low season sometimes you do. A lot of people make their way to Kata. I'm not going to say it's the best surfing destination in the world, because far from it, but there are quite a lot of people that surf here in Phuket. Kalim is also just outside of Patong, is another popular spot. I know my friend Pete, he surfs there as well at certain times of the year. Obviously now coming up to a high season, you're not really going to have, well, hopefully we're not going to have massive waves. So we've got a massage shop here, a big one. Lots of shoes outside. Must be busy inside. I can't really see because I've got my sunglasses on, and I think the windows are tinted over as well. So I'm not sure how well you can see, but large massage shop there. Coming up past McDonald's. That's just here, Mackey's. If you want a Mackey's, that's only a few minutes away from Bangla Road. And then we've got another Indian restaurant there, and probably accommodation is above it, I'm not sure. Looks like rooms. And then, is this the beach club? No, another hotel there. I'm going to try and grab an exchange rate if I can somewhere, if I see a booth as we're walking down, because again a lot of people are asking me what the exchange rate is. Well, from what I understand, it's hovering around, for the British pound, 42, 43. Not doing much better than that. You see the girls there for the massage shop outside. They're coming about a lot more. I think this is the entrance to the beach club. There it is. It's the one in Patong on the beach that we walked past. Don't know what it's like. I'm going to try and visit it at some stage. An Italian restaurant, beach club. I'm going to try and come over and go in there at some stage. Quite a few beach clubs on the island that I've got on my list of things to visit and do and cover. The water park, the Andaman water park, the new one. I'm going to be doing that. I was going to do it a few weeks ago, but the weather wasn't great, so I put it on hold. And hopefully now, towards the end of this month, beginning of next month, I'm going to be able to get across there. We've got Burger King here. So if you prefer a bit of Burger King over McDonald's, coffee 69 baht, that's not too bad. Veggie burger 189, if that's your thing. Just looking at what they've got. So they've got a Burger King not too far away from the McDonald's, prefer. And then we've got tour shops, massage shops, Swadikab, restaurant over there. Again, I think that's quite a big fish place. They do a lot of seafood there. I'm not quite sure. The Savoy, I think it's called. More. Let's have a quick look at the prices on the massage here in Patong. I know you might be interested. Swadikab. Okay, so what have we got? Foot care, 400. Let's have a look where the oil massage is. I normally like a nice oil massage. I find it more relaxing than the Thai massage. Can't see it. I'm trying to look quickly. Aroma oil there. What's that one? Okay, got no price on that. Unless they'll all relax on the beach, 2,000 baht. Okay, so I'll give you an idea of some of the prices. If you're interested, are you sure you're going to be wanting to do a massage while you're over here? Come to Thailand and have a massage. Some people like the Thai massage. I find it too strong. I don't find it relaxing at all, to be honest. I much prefer an oil massage. But each to their own. And another massage shop. So Patong's full of massage shops. You're not going to go wrong as regards that. Exchange place there on the corner. It's getting across the road, that's the problem here. Quite busy, a little coffee shop here. Bistro Cafe, quite busy there. Of course, this is the entrance to the very famous Bangla Road. I can't really get to the exchange rate because them guys are sitting there. I'm going to go a little bit further down, see where I can see another one, because it's busy there at the moment. And I'm sure there's going to be more exchange rates. I know people have mentioned that one is supposed to be quite good. Now, I passed the Five Loaves the other day when I came over and did Bangla Road. This is a burger place. I have tried the one in Patong, I keep saying Patong. I have tried the one in Phuket town, which is quite nice. And let's just have a quick look on the menu. Swaddy Cap! See whether I can see some prices. Move my sunglasses out of the way. So, chicken, Aussie beef, $2.70. And you can see the menus yourself. Some drinks, they do some different things, but the burgers are good here. Okay, Cobham Gap. As I say, I haven't actually tried this branch, but I would imagine they're all the same. Right, so let's have a little wander down the main beach road and see what businesses we've got here. See whether we can get an exchange rate for you. See, there's a place here. Whether they're going to let me film it or not, I don't know. US dollar 35, UK 19, the pound should I say, I can't get it out, 41. Australian dollar is 23, and then I'll just try and film that so you can see yourselves. It's going to be easier. Bear in mind these exchange rates are constantly changing. Some exchanges don't like you filming or taking pictures of the exchange rates. I don't know why. I think they must think you're going to take a picture and then say, oh, I want this rate. And that's sometimes you get, that can be a little bit funny when you're filming or taking pictures. Little breakfast place there. You see breakfast specials there. Guessing this is going to be a hotel when it's finished being built. And of course, the beach just across the road. Beautiful view here of the beach area, really nice. A little bit cloudy still, but the sun is out. There it is, right above me. Work our way back down to the bike. Nice to see the difference in the daytime to the evening time. Happy Bar. Something you're going to see a lot of if you're coming over here, these cannabis shops, because of course now the law has been changed. It hasn't been finalised, I must emphasise that, because everybody now thinks it's all legal and all done, but actually it's been legalised for medical use, but there is a big grey area when it comes to personal use. It's still not being finalised. The law hasn't gone through Parliament yet, and they're still trying to finalise it, but there are a lot of cannabis shops opening now, cannabis cafes, as you can see, weed shops everywhere. You're going to find it all over. If that is your thing, then you're going to have no problem in finding cannabis. I don't think they're now going to be able to change the law and make it illegal for personal use, to be honest, because it's too far out the bag. But it hasn't been concreted in place yet. They're still debating it in Parliament. A bit like last week they announced that foreigners were going to be able to buy land here in Thailand legally, which they haven't been able to do. Now this was targeting the wealthy foreigners more so than people like myself, just regular Joes. They were targeting the wealthy because you had to invest a certain amount of money into Thailand, and it was a lot of money, to be honest. But now they've changed their mind. Within a week they've withdrawn it, and they're now going to be asking public opinion about land ownership here. I guess what they're talking about is Thai public opinion, because there was a lot of discussion on social media about it over the last week, and the government have changed their mind. They've withdrawn the draft proposal. They want to get public opinion first before they go ahead, so I don't know whether it will actually come into effect. I think it probably won't, because the Thais don't want foreigners to own land. That's the way it is. They want to keep the land themselves, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Maybe that's what Britain should have done, instead of selling off everything to people that are not British or, you know, foreigners. Everybody's opinion's different. I'm not going to say it's good or bad, but that's what's happening at the minute here in Thailand. They are debating it, but I don't think it'll go through, to be honest, because I don't think public opinion will allow it to go through. I don't think the Thais want foreigners to own any land over here. Obviously, if you're not Thai, then you can't buy land. You can buy property, but you can't own the land, so you have to rent the land. Leasehold, basically, that's what you're looking at, rather than freehold. But of course, if you're like myself, married to a Thai, then you can. Obviously it'd be in Nat's name, not in my name. This is a good place as well, you might want to check out. Molly's. This is a good place. I've heard some good stories about this. Apparently they do some wicked pies, so there's some prices for you. We've got a good menu in there. I hear a lot of people talking about it. Lots of choice, starters and salads and classic, the burger and mash, and all sorts of goodies in here. So that might be somewhere you want to check out if you're over here in Patong. It's a place that's on my list that I'm going to be visiting and doing a video on when I get over here. So we're now by the Doubletree Hilton, just there, the sign. See that? It's a little bit cloudy now. Some trips there. If you're interested in trips. Talking about trips, if you join my group, the group has an official tour operator, travel agent, does all the trips. If you want to go to PP or any of the islands or any of the trips, she can help you out. She works through the group. She's very experienced, very helpful, been doing it well over 10 years. Her name's Nika. You probably, if you're in the group, you've probably heard me mention her or talk about her. If you haven't, then she gives some very good rates to, let's just have a quick look here, see whether there's any difference on the rates. Not really. Okay, no problem. You don't want me to film. Again, I don't know why, because the rates will change anyway. I don't see what the big issue is, but that's the way it is. I respect it. If they don't want me to film, that's fine. I'll just walk away. But yeah, going back to what I was saying about the tours and trips, she's got an actual shop here in Patong that you can visit. You don't have to, you can book everything online. If you want to do that, she can do all your bookings in advance and everything. But she's very friendly, very helpful, she's very knowledgeable, which is very important. She also offers very good customer service. Now this to me is very important. It's not just about the price. I'm not going to say she's the cheapest for tours and trips, because she's not. But she's also not the dearest. But what she does offer is very, very good customer service. So if you value customer service, which I do, because what you're talking about, some of these trips, they could be an experience of a lifetime, and you might want to remember them for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. Obviously, if you book with anybody and things go wrong, you've got nobody to go back to and be helpful. Some of these places or people that do it on the side of the road, when things go wrong, they just disappear. She's got an actual shop. She's not going to disappear. You've got any problems, you can contact her by phone. You can even go and see her in a shop, and she's going to resolve any problems for you, if you have any, that is. Hopefully you won't, but I would, like I say, recommend her. Mention the group, because then you're going to get her very best prices. As I've said, customer service is something that I monitor very closely. I ask people to give me feedback when they book through her, so I know that the trips are good, because I don't put my name to stuff lightly, because I know it's my name against it, and it's me that's recommending it. If people have a bad experience, it's going to be me that's going to take the flak. So I'm very aware of that, so I keep a close eye on it. But she does do some fantastic trips. She does everything everyone else does, so there's no worries there. If it's something you want to do, if it's something special you've got in mind, an anniversary, a honeymoon, talk to Nika, because the one thing Nika does is custom made trips. Not everywhere does that. They do the packages, she does the packages, but she does one-off trips specifically made to your choice or your choices. So that might be something that you might not find somewhere else. I'm going to cross over here, cross over these zebra crossings. They've had a big thing in Thailand about zebra crossings because, as you will see, people don't want to stop. Look, even though I'm on the crossing, they don't want to stop. You see, not even stopping. You see the crossing? Big thing here in Thailand about these crossings. Be very careful on them, because for some reason the drivers don't think that you have right of way on them, even though you do by law. You have right of way on the crossings, and the car should give way to you as long as you're on the crossing. They don't here in Thailand, and a few people have been killed. Quite a well-known doctor in Bangkok was killed not too long ago, and this is when they tried or started to clamp down on the crossings, but people still, even now, they've been painted red in Bangkok and they still ignore them. They just go across them. So be very careful when crossing the road, even on a crossing. If you've never been to Thailand before, bear this in mind. It's not the same as in the UK or America, where drivers should give way. Here in Thailand, most of the time the drivers won't give way, even when you're on the crossing itself. So just be careful of that. So we're nearly back to the bike, I think. A little place opened over there as well, little market that I've not seen before in Patong, because people ask me about markets in Patong, and there's not really a good one, to be honest. There is one at the end over the back there. I forget the name of it at the minute. It will come to me. Trying to think of it. I have done a video on it, but it's not like a proper market that I call a market. It's more like an area where it's got a lot of indoor stalls, rather than, people call it a market, but it's not my idea of a proper Thai market. And unfortunately in Patong at the moment they don't have a proper market, so you need to come out of Patong if you want to go and visit a proper market. The two markets that I would recommend is Chilva Market, which is excellent for food and clothing, and then Nakar Market, which is okay for food. They've got a food section, and then they've got an area that covers mostly everything, clothing and electrical items. So if you're looking for Bluetooth speakers and headphones and things like that, phone cases, Nakar's are a little bit better. But what I've found over the years, Nakar isn't as good a value for money, because there's a lot of tourists that used to visit Nakar Market, and of course the prices are a little bit more inflated, shall we say, than some of the other smaller markets. But those are the two big ones here. There's not much difference in size between Nakar Market and Chilva now, because Nakar Market's had some changes over the years. They've got a large car park now, because they never had that. It used to be part of the market. Well, they've taken part of it away and put a car park there, which is good for parking, but it's not as big a market. Right, we're almost back to the bike, so we're going to just have a quick look back on the beach, and then I will say my goodbyes. And I hope you've enjoyed this video and this tour of Patong. Not a short one by any means. I'm not quite sure how long the video is. I'm just going to have a look at, see if I can see. Oh, nearly an hour long. I think that's long enough. Well, there you go, Patong Beach, the area. We've had a nice walk along the beach and then back along Beach Road. I'm sure you're going to agree. Beautiful day, beautiful beach, great place to chill out and come and see. And I guess that just leaves me to say, as always, thanks for watching, and until next time, you take care, and I'll catch you on the next one.